June 20th, 2001. Clear Lake, Texas. A 911 operator receives a call. The voice on the other end is calm, eerily calm. "I need a police officer," the woman says. When police arrive at the suburban home, Andrea Yates answers the door. Her hair is wet. Her clothes are soaked. She looks at the officers and says 4 words. "I killed my kids." Inside the home, police find 5 children. Noah, 7 years old. John, 5. Paul, 3. Luke, 2. And Mary, just 6 months old. All 5 were drowned in the family bathtub, one by their own mother. This is the story of Andrea Yates. A story of severe mental illness, religious extremism, and a tragedy that never should have happened. Before that morning, Andrea Yates appeared to have the perfect life. She was a former high school valedictorian, a registered nurse. She married Russell "Rusty" Yates, a NASA engineer. They were deeply religious and wanted a large family. Their children were born quickly. Noah in 1994, John in 1995, Paul in 1997, Luke in 1999, and Mary in 2000. 5 children in 6 years. From the outside, they looked like the ideal American family. Inside the home, something was breaking. After the birth of her 4th child, Andrea began to unravel. In 1999, she overdosed on medication. It was a suicide attempt. She was hospitalized and diagnosed with severe postpartum depression and psychosis. Her psychiatrist gave a clear warning: do not have any more children. Another pregnancy would trigger another psychotic episode. The outcome could be catastrophic. 7 weeks later, Andrea was pregnant again. In November 2000, she gave birth to Mary. At first, Andrea seemed stable. Then, in March 2001, her father died. That was the turning point. Andrea stopped taking her medication. She stopped eating. She stopped feeding baby Mary. She mutilated herself. She read the Bible obsessively. She sat motionless for hours, staring into space. She was hospitalized multiple times. Doctors warned repeatedly. Andrea was suicidal. She was psychotic. She should never be left alone with her children. But she was. To understand what happened, you need to understand one man. Michael Warnicki, a traveling street preacher with extreme, apocalyptic beliefs. Rusty Yates met him years earlier and stayed devoted to his teachings. Andrea was introduced to those beliefs after marriage. They were dark. Warnicki preached that Satan was everywhere, that women were inherently sinful, that mothers who failed produced children destined for hell. He taught that children were better off dying young, before they could sin, so they could go straight to heaven. For Andrea, already severely ill, these ideas became deadly. In the weeks before the murders, Andrea's psychosis intensified. She believed cameras were hidden in her home, that cartoons on television were judging her, that Satan lived inside her body. She became convinced her children were corrupted, that they would grow up evil, that they would go to hell. In her mind, there was only one way to save them: kill them while they were still innocent. She believed her execution would destroy Satan himself. She told no one. On the morning of June 20th, 2001, Rusty Yates left for work around 9 a.m. His mother was scheduled to arrive at 10 to help with the children. Doctors had warned against leaving Andrea alone. Rusty believed independence would help her. That 1 hour was all it took. Andrea filled the bathtub. She served breakfast. Then, one by one, she drowned her children. Paul first, then Luke, then John, then Mary. When Noah walked in and realized what was happening, he ran. She chased him. She caught him. All 5 children were dead. Andrea called 911. Then she called Rusty. When police arrived, she was calm. She confessed immediately. She said she had planned it for 2 years, that she was a bad mother, that Satan had marked her, that killing her children saved them. She showed no emotion. Andrea Yates was charged with capital murder. The prosecution sought the death penalty. At her first trial in 2002, the defense pleaded insanity. The evidence was overwhelming. Years of hospitalizations, suicide attempts, severe psychosis. But the prosecution's expert claimed Andrea knew right from wrong. The jury convicted her. She was sentenced to life in prison. Then everything changed. The expert had testified about a TV episode that never existed. That false testimony overturned the conviction. In 2006, Andrea Yates was retried. This time, the jury focused on her mental illness. They found her not guilty by reason of insanity. Andrea Yates was committed to a state psychiatric hospital. She remains there today. She has never asked for release. She makes crafts. She watches videos of her children. She grieves every day. Rusty Yates divorced her and later remarried. Michael Warrenicki denied responsibility. Former followers were not surprised. They said they understood immediately what had happened. The Andrea Yates case is a perfect storm of failure. Medical failure, family failure, judicial failure, and the danger of extremist beliefs. 5 children died because every safeguard collapsed. Noah, John, Paul, Luke, Mary. 5 lives lost. Andrea Yates was not a monster. She was catastrophically ill. But the victims must never be forgotten. This tragedy was preventable, and it must never be repeated.
For more stories, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.